Hi guys, and welcome. Welcome to Sonic CD. Looking forward to this one. This is the Christian Whitehead 2013 version. And I'm not too familiar with Sonic CD as compared to the rest of the classic Sonic games, but I do still really enjoy it. It's got some of my favourite aesthetics, some of my favourite music. So let's dive into it. Now, when we start off, we can obviously pick your save spot. You can either choose Sonic or Tails. I believe the Sonic Origins version is going to add Knuckles and Amy into that. So if you're playing on Sonic Origins, you've got a couple extra characters. There is going to be a little intro animation, so I'll shut up for that, and yeah, you guys enjoy it. Hey, not bad at all, right? Now, the original version and actually the version included in Sonic Origins does have lyrics to that song, that intro theme, and I really dig them as cheesy as they are. It's sort of just classic 90s cheesy J-pop, whatever it is. And yeah, I've got a soft spot for it. Unfortunately, we've only got the instrumental version in this. Now, I am playing with the Japanese and European soundtrack. For those unfamiliar with this game, it actually had two soundtracks released for it. The one in the Japanese and European soundtrack, and then there's the US soundtrack. I do like both. I think both of them have some really good tunes. My preference is for the Japanese soundtrack, but I do enjoy the US soundtrack. I will say, however, the Japanese soundtrack is probably my favourite Sonic soundtrack out of any of the Sonic games that I've played. That's how much I enjoy it, and I don't say that lightly either. So we just blew up a Metal Sonic hologram. We'll be seeing more of them throughout the game, and yeah, there's a lot to explain, so we'll sort of do it as we go. Now, unlike my sort of Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic Mania playthroughs, I'll probably take a little longer through the levels to do some exploration. Now, what we destroyed there was a capsule of the Boticizer. What that does is it destroys all of the enemies in a level in the past and in the future. Now, there are 4 time zones for each act, and that's the past, present, future, and the future can either be the good future or the bad future. So by destroying that capsule, we actually create a good future. We'll be seeing the good future in a little bit, but here we are in the present. And yeah, there's so many sort of areas and different variations of each act, each zone. I really dig it. Now, over here, let's see our friend Amy. This is Amy's first appearance. Here she is within this little poke. She's Sonic's biggest fan. And yeah, this was the first appearance of Amy Rose. So here you can see that we've made a good feature in Zone 1. Sonic CD calls act zones for whatever reason. I'll talk about what the good futures. In fact, I might as well talk about them now, right? So if you create a good future in all of these zones or all of the levels, that's how you get the good ending. There's two ways to do this. You can either get all of the capsules in the levels by going to the past, or you can get all of the time stones, which is what we're doing at the moment. This is the special stage. And the time stones are sort of the Chaos Emerald equivalents in Sonic CD. So, for this playthrough, I'll be getting all of the time stones. I'm not too familiar with where all of the roboticizers are in the past after, say, the 4th level. So, if I were to get all of the roboticizers, I'd certainly have to look them up. But, yeah, we will show off a good ending, and I will get a good future in all of the levels. So, I'll be able to locate all of the roboticizers up until the 4th level, but by then we should be able to get all of the time stones, so it shouldn't matter. Getting all of the time stones creates a good future automatically, so don't have to worry about that. So what we want to do then is we want to go to the past, and to time travel we simply go past a signpost which either states past or future, and then we need to accumulate enough speed. There we go. Get our revenge on that magnet. We need to accumulate enough speed and maintain that in order to travel to the past. Easier said than done. Not too difficult in the first level, there's plenty of open spaces, but some of the later levels, it's so tightly packed that you sort of have to rely on specific environmental objects, I suppose, to allow you to time travel. I will try to show off the past and the future at least once per level. There we go. Now you'll also notice that I think I might have mentioned this in Act 1, the Metal Sonic holograms. Defeating them brings the creatures out to play. So now that we've created a good future, let's travel to the good future, and we can use this to time travel. There we go. Now this will take us to the present. So now what we need to do is we need to find a future post. There is one right here. Oh, that's a past one. Ignore me. There we go. I am just interested in collecting the rings as well to get into the special stage. Oops. Almost accidentally travelled to the... Okay, I can use this to time travel. I just need a post now. So, I think there should be one nearby. And I believe that takes us to the end. As I say, this is going to be a lot more exploration. We're not going to be sort of zooming through the levels. Now the enemies will still appear in the present even if you have destroyed the roboticizer in the past. It's only the good futures where... There we go, speaking of which. And of course, I was talking about that spot where I found where we could time travel easily. Unfortunately, every time you time travel, you do lose your shield, so you'd have to find a new one. I'll save that future potions in case I mess up. Jump down here, and once we have a ramp, here we go. Oh, messed up. Okay, that's fine. I think I know another place where I can time travel, and we do have that other post we can use there. So that's why I didn't go through it right away. There we go. Nice. So, as I say, sometimes the hard part can be, and the fun part actually, can be trying to find the place. Can't believe I lost that. Okay, that's fine. Well, in any event, the third act always takes place in the future. A bit of a shame I couldn't show off the good future there, but oh well. Because we created a good future in Zone 2. The third zone will always be in the future, so that'll be a good future. Because we created a good future in Zones 1 and 2. If we only created a good future in one of the zones, the third zone will be set in the bad future. So these special stages, how do they work? Well, we've got these UFOs, and essentially we just need to collect all of the UFOs before the timer runs out. Now, if the timer reaches 20 seconds, a special UFO will appear in the centre of the stage, and that'll grant you an additional 30 seconds of time so that you can grab the remaining UFOs. And that keeps respawning every time the counter goes below 20 seconds. The UFOs with the gold vertical stripes give you rings. The UFOs with the silver vertical stripes gives you a speed up. There are advantages and disadvantages to the speed up. We'll talk about that in the next special stage. Yeah, as I say, there's a lot to explain about this game. It's not your typical 2D Sonic game. Okay, the boss level. So, as I say, the boss level's always set in the future. And if you've created a good future, it'll be happy, it'll be all natural, nature will be sort of integrated with technology. If you created a bad future, it'll be more mech-inspired, a lot of like pollution, the water will be all grey, or the robots will be decrepit if you're in an actual level. I don't believe there's any badness whilst you're in the third act. And I want to say that there's always 100 rings, sorry, and at least one extra life box in the boss levels, but I could be wrong. But speaking of which, we can get our extra life here. So that's pretty groovy. We might as well collect all the rings. There we go. Anyway, coming up to the boss. Now the bosses in Sonic CD. First of all, I love this boss theme. It's so funky, it's so eccentric, and it's just wonderful, really. We'll be hearing more of it later, don't worry. Again, the US version has sort of a typical boss theme. The Japanese and European version has what I can only describe as the funkiest boss theme ever. Now the bosses are more puzzle oriented. Not so much that one. That one's quite frankly a piece of cake. And I would say the bosses aren't too difficult, but they don't provide too much of a challenge. We'll talk more about the bosses in the next level.